I'm legally insane. And when I'm not out killing people, I'm collecting retro games. My lawyer has advised me to edit that last part. And what I actually meant to say was that I was recently out purchasing some retro games. Just so happens I got them all in this box, hidden behind those diapers. You might want to put a diaper on right now. I'm wearing a diaper. I'm always wearing a diaper. Well, I just so happened to purchase these games from a seller recently and got a what you might call a steal of a deal. Yeah, because I don't think he needs money where he's going no more. Oh, yeah. Money ain't going to do him no good. Okay? So let's find out what I got, what I paid for each of these games. Because my lawyer has advised me to mention some sort of payment that I purchased these games for. And why you might also be interested in some of these games, because there's some real gems in here. Oh, there's some freaking gems. I'm telling you, there's gems in here that you didn't know existed. At least one, I think. At least one. So let's get started. All right, guys, we're going to start off with a monster hit, talking heavy hitter you might not have known even existed. Okay, get your gun ready. 6 bullets in the chamber. You just might blow your balls off. I got mine ready. All times, 6 bullets in the chamber. So this is the box right here. It's right beside me. I'm going to be pulling the games out randomly. I got a big old stack right here. Like I said, same seller, one box. There's a couple games in here that I'm saving for another day, though. Here she is, boys. Play best of the PlayStation Network Volume 1. There is no Volume 2. Oh, camera's not going to pick that up very good. I paid 72 Canadian dollars for this game. It currently price charts for 116. Price has been going up. When I first bought it, it was not price charting for that high, so it is trending higher. We'll get into that later. It's a compilation of 4 games that were exclusive to the PlayStation Network. They were digital-only games, and they put them onto a physical compilation CD. Volume 1, there is no Volume 2. The 4 games are When Vikings Attack, Sound Shapes, Tokyo Jungle, and Fat Princess. So when I first bought this, it was actually the game that I was actually after was When Vikings Attack. It's a party game, 4-player party game, local party game. Okay, you guys know I love my party games. I am always on the hunt for anything co-op, anything party game, anything unique. I'll take it. Some people will tell you it doesn't hold up that good today. And yeah, I'll probably agree with that because there's so many better party games out there. But the thing with party games is they get old pretty quick, so you got to spice up the variety. So either way, it's still a good party game that you could bring to any party. It's very simplistic gameplay. You basically have a group of Vikings, and you are picking up objects and trying to throw them at the other Vikings to eliminate their team. So your group of Vikings is constantly getting big. You're trying to grow your group of Vikings, and the larger your group, the bigger the objects you can pick up and throw. But also the larger your group is, the bigger your hitbox to be able to be hit. And every time you're hit, you'll lose Vikings on your team. Pretty basic stuff. Basically, it's a giant snowball fight, I guess you could say. So that was why I initially got it. But where the money's at is a game called Tokyo Jungle. I do want to throw out that you can get Tokyo Jungle as a Asian, Chinese, Hong Kong release that does have English. Even that version's expensive, though. You can go on eBay. If you don't want to pay the money for this compilation CD because it costs too much and you only want Tokyo Jungle, which is the biggest hidden gem on the entire PS3 console, there is that cheaper alternative for you. But if you want to get the other 3 games, you might as well pony up, buddy, because this game ain't getting any cheaper. So Tokyo Jungle is very rapidly becoming a cult classic. It's a survival game. Very unique, post-apocalyptic, where all of the humans are gone and it's nothing but animals left in Tokyo. So you're in this city environment. There are 50 different breeds and over 80 different animals in this game. So there is a story mode and also a survival mode. You basically play as either a herbivore, prey animal, or a carnivore predator. In both scenarios, your objective is to survive. Prey animals, you're trying to eat. You got to eat. You're going to be hungry. And you're trying to avoid predators and grow your herd. And the larger your herd, the more you can actually fight back. You can actually get your herd strong enough that you can kill other animals. And you will win the fight as long as you have one surviving member of your herd or pack left. And you will be able to win. And predators, they play a little bit different. They're more combat oriented because you have to kill animals to survive. And your competition is actually other predators. And you're going to have to fight other predators. You might be saying, well, why would I want to play as a weak prey animal? Well, it's balanced because the prey animals, the weaker ones especially, can grow their herds quicker and easier. And that's how the game tries to balance it out. There's 40 playable animals as far as I know. I'll give you some examples of some of the animals here. You've got a Pomeranian or a deer. Those are like your starting animals, but then you can unlock so many others. You can get a cat, a wolf, a jackal, hyena, goat, rabbit, gazelle, pig, chimpanzee, porcupine, hippo, ostrich, polar bear. I mean, it just doesn't end. There's so many. Elephant, and even a dairy cow. So there's a lot of variety. And here's the best part. It's 2-player co-op in survival mode only. So only in survival mode. I haven't tried it. I'm assuming it's co-op. There is a 2-player multiplayer option. I'm assuming it's 2-player co-op survival mode. I haven't tried it, but I will be trying it soon. I just need to get a friend over, which is easier said than done. Okay, when you turn my age, buddy, it's easier said than done. But I'm working on it. Word is spreading that this game exists. You'd be shocked how many people still to this day don't even know that this game exists. So it's trending higher. It ain't getting any cheaper. Somebody paid $260 for one recently. That might be an anomaly. Or it's a brand new one and it's a price charting mistake. Like new. Wow. Okay. $180. 7 sold. Supposedly somebody bought one recently. Another interesting thing is that you can still play Fat Princess online. I kid you not. That's what I heard. I didn't try it myself, but I know that in recent times, I'm talking like months and months ago, 2024, you could play Fat Princess online still. That was a great, great game. I played that back in the day. You can play 2-player co-op. You might even be able to get 4 players, same console, and join online. I'm not even kidding. It's one of the best party games ever. Me and my buddy played that game a lot back in the day. In fact, now I kind of want to play it. I'm going to have to get a buddy over. And we never did try it and see if it was 4-player because we didn't have four of us to actually try it back then. But we definitely played 2-player. It's same screen. It's not even split screen. If I remember correctly, it might be split screen. I don't remember. Basically, the concept of Fat Princess is you're on 2 teams. It's a medieval setting. Each team has a princess. You need to make your princess fat because the other team's objective is to charge your enemy base, sneak into your base, and steal your princess. But if she's really fat, it makes her really hard to steal. So you've got to constantly feed her. I'm going on memory here. But while all that's going on, there's like a million different character classes that you can do. There's something for everyone. There's crafting classes where you're building up your team defenses, and you need people to be doing all of these different things. There's people like chopping wood and mining and building up supplies and building defenses. There's other people that are actually on the offensive, charging into the enemy base. So many different options. Something for everybody. Even some idiot if you have an idiot 5-year-old kid, he could pick up a controller and be one of the builders that helps defend the base. There's also the Sound Shapes game is a platformer. It's kind of cool. I don't care much for it. Something to do with music and platforming. I'm sure it's a good game. I'm not going to go into detail on that one today. Let's find out what else I got. All right, I'm going to take my shades off to see what I'm looking at here. Oh, yes. Okay, next up we got King Kong. CIB, of course. It is a little bit flawed, though. It's got these rental stickers on it. These are old rental stickers. So I paid 28 Canadian dollars for this one. Currently price charts for $60.79. And no, this is definitely not the only copy that I own. This is probably my second or third or fourth copy. Yes, I am legally insane. Yes, I do collect multiple copies of some games. And a lot of people get pissed off when I say that. And anytime somebody writes in the comments, how come you have 10 copies of this particular game? Well, I've answered that before. It's because I'm legally insane. And sometimes I want 10 copies. You guys are lucky I'm not a millionaire, because if I was a millionaire, I would own 69 copies of every single game I own. 69 copies. And if you think I'm kidding, give me $1 million. Give me $1 million. I'll show you how many copies of every single game I would own. But anyways, I picked it up because it was cheap. Guys, I can sell it on eBay. The price fluctuates quite heavily, though. It's an interesting one. I've talked about this game in the past. It has the best graphics over the GameCube, Xbox, PS2 version. So, and I think it was an Xbox 360 launch title, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think, it's not particularly rare, but it is fairly sought after because the game itself was a hidden gem for a very long time. It sold good overall, but not necessarily the 360 version. Okay, when this came out, PS2 was still king of the world, so majority of copies probably sold on the PS2. Right? But this is the best version. Price-wise, it does fluctuate heavily, but if you were to draw a line from here to here, you would see the uptrend. These are higher highs. I don't know if that's a higher high. 52, that's about the same. But anyways, that it is trending up very, very slowly. Fluctuates quite heavily, but as you can see, recent sold listings probably averages around $60. $60 Canadian. Whether that includes shipping, it may or may not. May or may not depend on the condition of the game. But yes, it does have wild swings, but it is still uptrending, believe it or not. Oh, yeah, hold on. There's another... Oh, yeah, here it is. Frickin' monster hit, guys. Put your diaper on. You are reading this correctly. This is accurate. This is Barbie for the NES. Then hold on. I know what you're thinking. I already know. I can read your mind. I already know. You're thinking, what kind of retard buys Barbie for the NES? Well, you are mistaken, because this is not a bad game. Well, okay, hold on. Hear me out. I've had this game on my radar for 30 years. I've wanted this game for 30 years or more. I went over to a friend's house a long time ago. He had Barbie. He also had Little Mermaid, which I finally did pick up recently. I'm pretty sure it was in a pickup video of mine. He had Little Mermaid. And that's a Capcom game, as far as I remember. That's a good game. I got that one. But he also had Barbie. And he wouldn't let us play them, because he said they were his sister's games. So I didn't get to play it. But I wanted to play it, and of course, many years later, I looked it up. And the first level looked really fun. So I have played it. I downloaded the ROM. I played the ROM. I'm not even kidding. This is years ago I played it. But I couldn't beat the first level. And I'm ashamed to admit that. It's a puzzle platformer. The first level, at least, is a puzzle platformer. You got to think. Like, for a 6-year-old to figure this stuff out, you really had to think. I had to put my thinking cap on. It's a hard game. I couldn't beat the first level. I don't know what. Listen. I'm telling you, I think the ROM was bugged. Either I'm missing something and I couldn't solve the puzzle that's designed for 6-year-olds, and that might be possible. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to tell you that I solved that puzzle, because I never did. I never beat the first level. But I was really intrigued, and I thought it was a really good first level. So I'm going to try to beat it. I think the ROM was bugged. That's my theory. I finally got my hands on a copy of this game. It's not an easy game to find for a good price with a good condition label. It's not as easy as it sounds. In fact, I'm going to prove it to you right now. You might think that this is a $5 game, but if you thought that, you might be an untrained collector, because this baby's been climbing up since 2011. When did this bottom? October 2011, $1.52. $1.52. Ain't nobody want Barbie back in 2011. Ain't nobody want this. And now, US dollars, it's 12, 13 bucks. $12.62, 13 bucks. Loose sold listings, and like I said, try getting one with a good label. See, people are paying 23 bucks plus tax. Maybe shipping too, I don't know. Untested one. I don't want an untested one, 15 bucks. No, thank you. Trending up, slow and steady. Slow and steady riser. Don't be sleeping on no Barbie. So, I think the ROM was bugged. I'm going to see if I can beat this version. There's no way this version's bugged. Okay, next up, I got another frickin' monster hit. Indiana Jones for the N64. What's this called? Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine. I've wanted this game for years and years and years, and I've watched the price climb for years and years and years. I remember when it was 50 Canadian dollars on eBay, shipped to your door, 50 bucks. And I kept looking at it, and I was trying to nickel and dime. I learned this lesson a long time ago. I learned it with Snow Brothers for the NES, actually. That was the very first game that I learned it for. When Snow Brothers was 25 bucks. See, this is when I didn't fully understand that these prices just keep going up. Okay, I hadn't fully figured that out yet at the time. But it was $25. And then, of course, it started creeping up. Went to like 30 bucks. So I said, okay. I just want to pay 20. I'll wait for it to come back down to 20. Well, it never came back down to 20. Then it went to 50. I vividly remember when it went to 50 bucks. And then I said, okay, I'll pay 25. I'll pay 25. Just come back. Have the price come back down. I'll pay 25. And next thing you knew, I woke up and it was like 200 bucks. And then I finally bought it. Well, the same thing happened with Indiana Jones. I remember when this was 50 bucks. And I was trying to nickel and dime, trying to save $5. Like, just if only there was a cheaper copy, but with a good label. This is a hard game to find with a good label. When I was on the market for this game, at least, it was very difficult to find a copy with a good label. Very difficult for a good price. You always had to pay a premium for a good label. So this came up. I bought it for 103 Canadian dollars. I paid up big. It's a hidden gem if you're not aware of it. Price charts for 140 bucks. And it's still climbing. It's peaked out a couple times at about 100 USD. So it's, 100 USD, which is 140 Canadian. Yeah, that's about accurate. Yeah, look at this. All sold listings all day. 140, 140, 140. All day. Plus maybe shipping and taxes. I didn't pay shipping or taxes. So I paid up big on this one. I got into a little bit of a bidding war with somebody. But I fully expect that this will be $200 before you know it. Be 150 US before you know it. You're going to wake up one day and it's going to be 200. There's a lot of N64 game collectors out there, believe it or not. A lot of people love that console. And it's a very small library. A lot of people are going for full sets. Okay, here's one thing that people don't know about this game, because it's on PC as well. I'm pretty sure it might even be on Steam right now. But the N64 version is different. They made it better. They improved it. And yes, this was a Blockbuster exclusive, but it was also sold on the LucasArts website, on direct from the company. But most of those copies that they produced ended up going out to Blockbusters. So it's essentially a Blockbuster exclusive because you could not get it at EB Games, GameStop. You couldn't get it at Walmart. Nobody knew about this game. They just went to Blockbuster and rented it. This is a third-person action platformer puzzle game, very similar to Tomb Raider. It's not a low-budget game, even though you're thinking, oh, Blockbuster exclusive, that game's got to suck. No, it doesn't suck. It's a good game. They improved it from the PC version. I wrote this down. They made better controls, a better camera system, better lighting, added lock-on targeting, and added new music. Like, actually good music. So I thought that was interesting because I didn't know that before. I didn't know that. And the game is famous for having a lot of secrets, so it really rewards you to explore. So you're supposed to feel like Indiana Jones. I'm very happy with that purchase, by the way. I haven't bought an N64 game in a very long time. And I have most of the games that I want or need. The ones that I'm missing are all very expensive, so I'm not particularly on the market to get them anytime soon. All right, next up, I did pick up another copy of Deadly Creatures. This is my third copy. And if you're wondering why I have 3 copies, it's because it's a hidden gem. To this day, not enough people know about it. And if I find it for cheap, I'm going to pick it up. If I find a good condition copy for cheap, I'm going to pick it up. Okay? It's a very unique hidden gem action game. Came out in 2009. It's exclusive to the Wii. I've talked about this game before. I do think that the price will go up. I think it's undervalued. I think it's underrated. One interesting thing about the game is you do get to play as a spider or scorpion. Each one has its own unique style. It has RPG elements to the game. You're constantly killing enemies and expanding and unlocking new abilities. So if you're playing as a spider, you're supposed to be a little bit more stealthy. You play like a real spider. Like if you're a spider, you're going to sneak up on your enemies. And if you're the scorpion, it's more of a brawler. Just go in and kill stuff. I did write one interesting thing about this game. Here it is. Yeah, so it was developed by Rainbow Studios. Because I was curious who the developer was, because it's such a unique game and nobody ever talks about it. Nobody. So unique. So I looked up the developer. They're called Rainbow Studios, published by THQ. And when I looked at the previous games that they had made, it's basically almost every single game. It's like 99% of the games that they released are all sports games, racing and sports games. So I just thought that was kind of unique because this action game, a very unique action game, was made by a developer that doesn't typically make action games. So I mean, that alone says they did a pretty good job for being a clearly inexperienced team in this genre. They're very inexperienced. And they did a really good job. We got mixed reviews, though. Mixed reviews. Some people loved it. Some people hated it. Got 4 out of 10, Eurogamer. 4 out of 10. And it got a 8 out of 10 from IGN. So, very wide range. But, yeah, very interesting game. $23 Canadian, price charts for $28.88. So I paid, close to fair market value. But I think that fair market value might be $30 today, but it's going to be $60 tomorrow. And then the day after that, it's going to be $69. You're going to wake up one day, it's going to be $69, and you're going to be wondering why you didn't pay $30. Ooh, next up, I got a real gem. You guys know about this one. Hit and Run for the Xbox. What did I pay for that? Did I write that down? Oh, $35 I think it was. I didn't write it down, but I paid $35. Canadian. OG Xbox. I got a soft spot for OG Xbox Simpsons games, and I'll tell you why. But let me show you something. These are my GameCube games. Oh, wrong game. Okay, this is Simpsons Road Rage. This is Mario Strikers. That's not what I wanted. Here it is. So I have Hit and Run for GameCube. And I have Road Rage. And I got these 2 copies a long time ago. I bought them at GameStop, EB Games, when they were used for dirt cheap. In fact, look at this. $4.99. Like, this is my OG copy. I bought this. Nobody wanted these games. CIB. Canadian dollars. That's Canadian dollars. EB Canada. I bought this in it would have very likely been Calgary, Alberta, that I bought that. Put my sunglasses back on for this one, guys. Okay. So you're wondering why I have the Xbox version now. Because I already have it for GameCube, and the GameCube version is arguably better. Is it not? Well, I mean, it might be. I actually don't know which one's better, to be honest with you. But I don't have the Xbox version, but I have a soft spot for Simpsons games on the Xbox, so I want a copy for each console. I'm still missing Road Rage. I'm going for Road Rage next, because the very first game that I bought for my Xbox, when I bought my OG freaking Xbox, when that thing first came out, just about when it first came out. I don't even know like how long it was out when I got it, but I know it was early. My friend rented it, and I played Simpsons Road Rage at his house on 2-player. And then when I finally went out and bought my console, I got 2 games with it. Maximus Chariot Racing, one of the best racing games ever made, and Simpsons Road Rage. I walked out of that EB Games with the console and those 2 games. And Simpsons Road Rage is very underrated. It was an awesome game. Way better than Crazy Taxi. And yeah, probably you have to be a Simpsons fan. Hit and Run is a Grand Theft Auto clone, but it's family-friendly clone. You're not killing people. You're not blowing stuff up with rocket launchers. Right? Very family-friendly. And this was unexpected. I'm pulling up this chart for the first time. Yeah, so I got a steal of a deal on that one, buddy. 66 Canadian dollars is what it currently goes for. Basically 69. In USD, that is roughly 45 USD. And the trend line here, this is a straight line up. This thing has been going straight up since it bottomed in 2018. That is absolutely insane. It's going straight to 100. You know this is going to 100. They're not remaking and re-releasing Simpsons Hit and Run. I can guarantee you that. You will be long dead before they make another Simpsons Hit and Run. Or at least a remake of this version. In fact, if they came out with a second part, guess what? The price of the original is going up, buddy. You're going to be wishing you paid 45 USD when this thing goes up. When you wake up one day and this is 100? What's the GameCube version going for? Let's look at the GameCube version. PS2 version's going for 75 Canadian. GameCube version's going for 109 Canadian dollars, 75 USD. That's absolutely insane. I paid $4.99 Canadian. $4.99 because you idiots didn't want this game back in like 2015 when I bought it. Yeah, see? It was going for $13 back then. So GameStop had it on clearance, $5. Nobody wanted GameCube back then. Now everybody wants GameCube. All right, there should be some more games hidden in this box here. I think I lost one of the games. There's supposed to be another game. I know what this is. I paid a lot of money for this. Ice Blue N64 controller. I paid 41 Canadian dollars. That is an arm and a leg for an N64 controller. But the stick is supposed to be 10 out of 10. I haven't tested it. I'll tell you what the stick is right now. I'm going to open up this bag. First time opening. Let's find out if I got scammed. I'm scared. You know, I've gotten scammed before. I think I showed you guys 2 controllers that I bought before where the seller said it was a 10 out of 10 stick. It was literally a 0 out of 10. Unplayable. Dang. I mean, this is... I don't know if I'd say it's a 10, but that's probably as close to a 10 as you can get. Dang. I'd say it's a 9. I don't think it's a 10, but it's close enough. I'm happy with the purchase. This is like one of the rarest controllers. I don't know which one's the rarest. Maybe it's the watermelon red. I don't know. But I know that this one is very sought after. It goes for roughly $40, $50 Canadian. And there's supposed to be a Game Boy game somewhere. I'm going to take my glasses off because there's another game in here that I'm saving for another video. I must have taken the game out. It was a Game Boy Advance game that's missing. I'll save it for another video. I also took out an Xbox 360 game and a Nintendo Switch game that I'll be showing in a future video. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to get to over 9,000 subscribers. And I'd like to give a quick shout out to my Patreon supporters. If you want to support the channel, there's a link in the description below. Shout out to Trevor, William, and Chocolate Thunder. Chocolate Thunder's been supporting me from prison. So if Chocolate Thunder can support me from prison, I'm pretty sure anybody out there has the capability. Now, Chocolate Thunder's been trying to get me to go back to prison. I ain't going back. I've already been to prison 6 years in the slammer, buddy. 6 years, I ain't going back. After you spend 6 years in prison, selling up with a guy named Chocolate Thunder, you don't go back.